What is up, boys, and welcome to the first FIFA 21 video on the channel. Now in today's video I'm going to bring you a starting guide of a few example starter squads that you may want to try out when the game does come out. The first squad I've tried to look at is a sort of hybrid between the Bundesliga and Serie A. Now looking at this squad, the reason that I've gone with three at the back is generally at the start of the game there won't be so many dangerous players available or in most people's teams, and you can sort of get away with using or not using fullbacks. And especially in this formation and with these players, the centre-backs are very fast for sort of starting players, so they should be able to deal with any starter level strikers that you're going to be able to face. Now, as many of you may have noticed from obviously the database being released, the RB Leipzig defenders and midfielders are very overpowered looking, and I don't think they'll be particularly expensive because nation links, although between themselves the Austrians have obviously a perfect link, you'll find it hard to make other hybrids with them, and I just don't see them being very expensive. So that CDM lineup of Lima and Sabitzer should be a very dynamic and solid duo, and I don't think both of those cars will cost more than 20k together. Now Konate and Upamecano, again, similar kind of thing. I don't think they'll be particularly expensive because of their rating. They'll be sort of quite common to pack, but they should be very overpowered as starting centre backs. Klosterman, now I think he may well be expensive because he's obviously a top 5 nation, and with that pace he'll be very popular, but he is very important to obviously link to the Leipzig players and to Kevin Trapp in goal, who I think will be sort of a cheap beast, very well-rounded goalkeeper. And yeah, then we actually move on to the Serie A part of the team. Now Gosens has had a huge upgrade, and I think he fits that left mid / left wing back role very well if you do play three at the back. He gets that obviously strong link with Muriel, who is always a beast, pacey, good finishing. And then you have Morata, who is generally a well-rounded striker, will be very cheap I think. Bernardeschi, as far as I know, has 5-star skills and will be pretty cheap because of his rating. And then Callejon on the right wing or right mid, I think he has very high stamina, so he should be a good starting option. Now, if you are more interested in having a full Bundesliga team, this is what I've come up with or come together with. And yeah, there are obviously many similarities between this squad and the previous one. Obviously same centre-back duo, same goalkeeper, but obviously in this formation you will have the left and right back. Now Schultz and Lima, or Line, sorry, should be pretty cheap. I think both cars will definitely be under 10k, maybe between 5 and 10k. And yeah, they obviously have the green link with Emre Can on the left centre mid and Lima on the right centre mid position, who are obviously two sort of well-rounded box-to-box CDM type players. And then you have obviously the incredible looking Zakaria card. I'm really not too sure how much he will cost. He could well be sort of a 25k player in the first days or a couple weeks, because he does look like just an unbelievable beast. Of course, we don't know what the meta will be, but if physicality and pace are two important things, then he should be a fantastic player. And in any case, I think he'll be a great CDM, and he is, I think, someone worth investing in. Then in this formation, in this squad, Sabitzer will be a cam instead of sort of a box-to-box or CDM player. I think that probably suits him more because his stats are more focused on the attacking side of the game. And yeah, one problem I've seen with Bundesliga, there are just so few options in terms of strikers with important stats like pace. But I think Rashica, he is a centre forward card, but you could play him as striker. He's got good dribbling, good pace. That's always going to be effective at the start of the game. And Briel and Bolo, again, not the greatest card, but he does have good physical, good pace, and sort of decent shooting, so he could be a fun starting option. Now, moving on to a squad that maybe could be slightly above in the budget scale because of a few players that I think will be very overpowered at the start of the game, and they may be very high priced. But I think after sort of a few days or maybe a couple of weeks of playing and generating coins, these kind of squads will be accessible. And I think especially with the hype of sort of opening packs and the unpredictability of the market, this kind of team will be accessible to most of you as a starter squad. So obviously, as we can see, this is a 4-3-3 La Liga team, and yeah, there have been some new cards or new good upgrades, especially this goalkeeper. I think it could be fun just trying out new players. This Aitor guy looks pretty solid for a starter goalkeeper. He should be very cheap. And in terms of the back line, Firpo from Barcelona. Again, you can't really go wrong with fast wing backs. He should be pretty cheap because of his rating, and he's non-rare as well. Hermoso, I think this guy was extremely overpowered in FIFA 20 at the start. And again, good pace, good defending. I think he's got good agility as well, which may or may not be important this year. But I think he should be a great starting option nevertheless. And then Koundé, who has had a great upgrade as well. Good pace, good defending. I think he should be sort of a agile kind of centre-back as well, because although his physical is low, we obviously don't know if physicality will be important this year. But I think you can't really go wrong as long as your centre-backs have pace. Now, on the right-back slot, Kappa looks a fantastic right-back. Great physicality, good pace, generally solid. I think he won't be too expensive, maybe around the 10k mark or less. And yeah, there are some other options for right back, but I think he is the one to go to. Now, in terms of the midfielders, Marcos Llorente has had just an unbelievable upgrade. I think he's had some like plus 35 pace, very well rounded. I mean, this kind of card, we can only speculate. He may be very expensive. He may sort of drop in price because of his rating. But I think if he will be accessible in terms of price, he will be a great box-to-box option. Then alongside him, Hector Herrera, his teammate from Atletico Madrid. Again, box-to-box kind of player. Because of his nation, I think he'll be very cheap. And yeah, for a starting option, you can't really go wrong. Then João Felix on the cam position. Again, he may have a lot of hype around him, but I think his price will drop a lot, obviously, as the weeks go on. And yeah, with the 5-star skills, generally good stats, I think he'll be obviously another fun player to use. Then Machis, who was a striker last year, very overpowered. Again, great pace. I think he's got good finishing, good dribbling. And yeah, he could be a fun player to use as a left wing this year. Then Iñaki Williams, I mean, we all know about him. Rapid pace, very strong, good finishing. Weak foot might be an issue, but at the start of the game, this guy will tear it up for you. And then with a very nice upgrade as well, Lucas Ocampos from Sevilla. I think he will bring you something different in terms of having decent pace, good end product, dribbling, finishing, and then also, if I'm not mistaken, he's very good in the air as well and very strong. So you could obviously use custom tactics, maybe play 2 strikers. And yeah, this squad may be expensive because of the hype around some of these players, but in a couple of weeks I think this is something you could aim to if you want a La Liga squad. Now boys, if you found this video helpful and you want to see some more squads, I do have some ready to show you, but yeah, just drop me a comment, drop me a like, drop me a subscription if you're new, and I will get that next video out to you very soon. But for now boys, thank you for watching and peace.